Hello friends, biological weapons are a particularly dangerous weapon of mass destruction. In many ways, biological weapons cause more damage than chemical or nuclear weapons. Biological weapons are based on pathogenic or disease-transmitting properties of microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, and toxins secreted by some bacteria to cause disease and death in humans, animals, or crops, destroying crops, polluting the ecological environment, leading to unpredictable consequences depending on their ability to spread and mutate. Biological weapons have many outstanding features, which are: firstly, the combat performance is very high. Biological weapons can cause great damage to the enemy in terms of both vitality, psychology, and environment. With only a small dose, but the ability to spread is very wide, it is difficult to prevent and overcome the consequences. Second, the production cost is low. Weapons researchers have compared the cost to create a lethal effect in an area of 1 square kilometer of this weapon as follows. If using a conventional weapon will cost $2,000, nuclear weapons cost $800, chemical weapons in the form of nerve agents cost $600, and biological weapons cost about $1. Third, the attack method of biological weapons is also very diverse. Biological weapons can be used from anything and anywhere from aerosol cans to biological bullets, biological bombs, from liquid, gas to pathogens through insects, animals, drinking water. According to incomplete statistics, from the First World War until now, there are about 50 types of microorganisms that have been used as biological weapons such as smallpox virus, encephalitis, dengue fever, Ebola, tularemia, anthrax, plague, typhoid bacillus. However, the biological weapon has the disadvantage that during the incubation period, the infected person can still perform the task, but it is still a most dangerous weapon. Even especially dangerous when many of them are floating on the black market and opposition forces, radical terrorism can be more easily accessible than two other particularly dangerous weapons, nuclear weapons and chemical weapons. Unlike nuclear weapons and chemical weapons, forms of biological weapons have been used for a long time in history, at least thousands of years ago. Since ancient times, people have known to use pathogens that are toxic to the opponent. The most common way is to throw the corpses of people infected with the disease into the enemy's strongholds and villages, then use poisonous plants and animals in nature such as poisonous snakes, dead rats, poisonous mushrooms. The most famous case in the Middle Ages was in 1346 with the Black Death. This epidemic began in Central Asia with the bubonic plague, then spread to the east and west through the Silk Road trade and military campaigns of the Mongol army. The first recorded appearance of this disease in Europe was in 1346 in the city of Kaffa on the Crimean Peninsula. During the long siege here, the Mongol army was plagued with plague, and they decided to use catapults to hurl infected corpses into the city. After the Mongols were forced to withdraw due to the epidemic spreading in the army, the city of Kaffa was liberated. The inhabitants of the city then escaped and brought the disease with them to the Italian peninsula and southern Europe, where the plague broke out into a pandemic called the Black Death. It peaked in the years 1346 to 1351 with the death toll in Europe and Asia between 75 and 200 million. The Black Death is considered one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, estimated to have killed 30% to 60% of Europe's population. In modern warfare, biological weapons were first used by Germany in World War I, 1914 to 1918, and in World War II, 1939 to 1945, biological weapons have been researched and used on many battlefields. From 1940 to 1941, the Japanese army sprayed 11 Chinese provinces with bombs containing bubonic plague microorganisms. They also released plague-infected louses and plague-infected rice grains to attract rats to eat and then spread the disease all over China. Currently, the US military is the military with the largest biological attack capability, covering 3/4 of the global area. The US Commando Force, the predecessor of today's SEAL, is said to be in the Biological Weapons Attack Squad, along with submarines will be the core means to wage war using biological weapons, thanks to the ability to secretly bring commandos and bacteria containers to penetrate enemy shores, drop biological weapons and quickly withdraw from the target. However, the US is also the subject of biological attacks. In 2001, anti-American terrorists put spores of anthrax bacteria in envelopes sent to a series of addresses in the US, including 2 senators, killing 5 people and 17 others were infected. In addition, North Korea is the country most accused by the US, saying that it already possesses the necessary technology and is gradually building biological weapons including plague, anthrax and smallpox. At the same time, many conspiracy theories suspect that the SARS-CoV-2 virus is a biological weapon produced by China and intentionally leaked from the country's research centers. Recently, during the war in Ukraine, Russia also accused the US of supporting extremists in Ukraine to use biological weapons against Russia and people of Russian origin in Ukraine and developing biological weapons systems. Accordingly, the Pentagon has been involved in the operation of more than 30 biological laboratories throughout Ukraine. Thank you and you guys for watching the whole video. What do you think about biological weapons? Let us know below in the comments section. If you find it interesting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell and continue to accompany the channel, and now say goodbye and see you again.